right, so you guys are back, as long as we're all here.
Yeah.
You guys came back. You guys are going to Scooby-Doo some shit to see where you're trying to find some of the higher-ranking officials in here, since everyone else is just looks like it's just playtime and winding down time, and nothing seems to be happening. Rom, you go and look into the quarters that you knew you were in before for Vincent and McNally, and you knock on the door, and you hear, "Come in." And you open the door, and you see McNally and Vincent sitting around that same table that they were before, looking over a bunch of documents and such.
Cool. I can't move my guy there for some reason.
You're pretty quiet there, Peter.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
You're pretty quiet.
Really? Weird. Can you hear me now?
Still about the same.
Go to break and everything breaks.
Always.
What about now?
Same.
That was a bit louder.
What the fuck? Nope. Nope. He's gone.
Alright, fuck it, I quit. I think we're gonna have to kill Dak, guys.
How about now?
Maybe?
Maybe?
There you are.
Sounds better now a bit. Yeah, it's definitely way better, actually.
I want this frickin' homebrew item to work.
Is Dak in this thing or just those two?
What?
Is Dak in this building or just those two?
Well, so far all you've seen is them. Where are you going? I was gonna run you all since you all are splitting up and running one first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So these two the people that are like in charge,
Yep.
basically?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I go in.
You go in, and
with
Vincent
what?
says, kind of waves at you and says, "What's up? What can I do?"
I feel like we have some matters to discuss
Sure.
about the safety of the islands.
Okay.
And how much of my map again do I have, like, for the dark place?
For the which place?
The dark place,
Like over here.
the islands of the Thanahan.
You have basically all of this. You can see how it's really dark here.
Yep.
You have this little island right here,
Uh-huh.
which you now know is the snake people.
Yep.
And then you have this, which is the Islands of the Fallen, which you can now presume would be a lot of the natives from the island that were pushed off to over there.
Okay. So, this is a world around.
Round.
So, so I pull out the map and I kind of. Is there like a table or something that I
Yep,
could?
there's a table right in front of them. Like they have a bunch of other like shit, like papers and
Yeah.
stuff, and you like take your map out and you basically, in ROM fashion, like spread it out and on top of everything else.
So, what would you say is the biggest threat to your islands?
Well, as of recently, it would have been this over here, and he kind of points off to the dark area of the map. It's been a little while since we've seen some of them, and I feel like maybe now we've got a window of opportunity to. Maybe they're gone now. Maybe they don't give a shit about us anymore. I don't know. Used to be these guys. Right. And but now, honestly, as of recently, It seems to be a more horrific type of fog that keeps ascending on our islands.
And how much?
I've been told that the main one with God, what the hell's his name over there? The captain guy, that island.
Mhm.
I've been told through the grapevine that they've had people go missing over there. But
Well,
we
Captain Jackass threw me off of the stage, so
so far we haven't had anybody go missing, but the fog seems to keep surrounding our islands here, and so far that hasn't come to fruition and nothing's happened by it, but that seems to be the most pressing because I haven't seen much of the Triton. As soon as he says that, he kind of like winces a little bit from saying the name, and people in a while. So, as far as that goes, I'm pretty sure that's our problems now. That's what you asked, right? That you asked what our
Yeah.
problems were.
What are your problems? Where's your source of fear?
I mean, there's always like the jungle. There's shit that comes out of there all the time,
Mhm.
you know.
As it
But
do, as it do.
as it do, but
Mhm.
mainly we've always been concerned about keeping all of the islands safe from these guys over here. And he keeps pointing at that island of the fallen. He looks at it curiously and says, "Did you make this map?"
That's a different question for a different time. We have more pressing matters.
Interesting, because you have a name here for these guys of the fallen, and I'm
How
curious.
much do you know about other worlds?
Are you talking like children's books, like space and
Yeah,
all that shit?
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think much about it because this is the world that I live in, and I'm
What
more
if I
pressed about
was
this
to,
world.
well, what if I was to tell you, what happens in your world is a mirror influence of what could be happening in other worlds. Like this mist thing, for example, right? I've dealt with a mist before.
Hmm.
Not so much yellow, but still, the premise is the same. A mist engulfs a place and people go missing, and it's not, doesn't seem to be as strong here as it is in other places. But when it comes right down to it, everything that you have concern for is part of a greater evil.
Hmm. Well, you're talking funny words, funny
Funny
man.
words, yes, but they do make sense. I mean, it's no different than, I guess, whatever this massive landmass that supposedly exists over here, the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
It, if they were to come and take over your islands, that'd be a problem, right?
Certainly, but don't you think they would have done that by now? We kind of have a.
No, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm
Oh,
making
okay,
is that
okay.
a greater force could very much so take over these islands very easily.
I
Correct?
see.
Are you solo, Rom?
Yes, he is by
Yes.
himself. Uh, I
And
mean,
then I start
okay.
to press to digitate
Uh-huh.
what I know currently about the universe.
Holy shit! And his eyes kind of like go wide, and it's like, what kind of fucking who the hell are you?
Are you doing like a 3D hologram projection?
Yeah. Yes. Technically, I
So,
have one of those, but I'm not using
so he
it.
like sees this like projection in front of him, and he's just like wide-eyed, and you can see like his daughter in the back, Magnolia, is just like really confused, and he says, "Let me get this straight. You're telling me that we're not the only universe?"
No.
Okay,
And
cool.
see, what I'm trying to explain to you at this point, and I know it's very hard for, uh, you know, folks that have not been exposed to these kind of things to really understand what's going on. And then he makes that projection wider. And he goes,
Okay.
as of about 3 billion years ago, these were all the universes that we knew at the time. We had records. Your people came from here. And then, like, every, like, as he's talking, like, different systems or different universes keep, like, blinking out. And you see those ones that are missing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange.
Very.
I've been studying this for a long time. And at the cusp of what I've learned thus far is that these different worlds, and he, like, brightens them a little bit versus the other ones, are in the most danger. And then he, like, zooms in on one of them, and it's his.
Oh. Okay. This is very new to him. Mostly
Mm-hmm.
Vincent
Yep.
just knows like swords, fighting,
Mm-hmm.
protection. She's not like the brightest as far as magic and all this shit's going. And
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to follow you. Um,
So, what I'm about to tell you is something that is held in the deepest of secrets.
okay.
Juicy.
Your world is in very so much in danger. Not just
Okay.
your islands, not just your continents, your world, right?
Yes, right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, if there was to say a grander army to show up here,
Mm-hmm.
think of it at a scale of multiple different planets, not just some islands or a continent. They'd
Mm-hmm.
easily overcome you,
Right. Okay. That's not good.
correct? No.
Yep. Correct.
So the only way that you'd be able to protect the people that you have is by uniting, correct?
Correct.
Now, I've struck in a deal with some serpent people.
And as soon as you say that, he like looks at you and is like, "You mean our enemies?"
I wouldn't consider them enemies at this point, my friend.
Okay. Okay. I'm listening.
My suggestion, and you can think on it, is the more allies you have, the easier it'll be to protect your world from what's coming.
Hmm.
And then I project what I, at this point, think is coming, and it's just like horrors and
Yeah.
eldritch horrors and disgusting things. And
For sure.
I like zoom into the islands, and they're like, all these horrors are killing people. It's
Yeah.
funny.
And he
And
like,
then,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and then I zoom into like Vincent, like trying to ward off these eldritch horrors, and then he gets his like head cut off by a thing.
Who's dead?
I like it. I like it.
So what I'm saying is, think on it. I'm not here to save your world personally, but something to think about.
You've certainly given me things to think about. You can quickly see like my Nolly when you were explaining that shit. She's like writing shit down, and
For now, there is certain things that we do need to attend to. You guys have local issues that we need to figure out, right? This whole what's his name, Rockcock or whatever the fuck his name is, and some other spatial beings and what have you. We should probably figure those things out and figure out what's going on in these islands over here called the Fallen or what have you. I'm not really sure what's all going on there, but let's figure that out.
yeah, maybe we don't have to fight them anymore.
Or maybe there's something greater to do with this mist situation. I just feel like your resources could be used better elsewhere.
Hmm. What do you mean? Like, you want me to leave this camp?
No. I mean, let's probably stop killing each other because it's probably not going to help us in the end.
Oh, you want to be more diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you. As I've grown older, I've been starting to think that's probably the best route.
Let's
It's
kill
hard.
those we have to, right? And
Yeah.
let's use diplomacy in other ways.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, because
Absolutely.
he's an old man stuck in his ways, but he's definitely listening to you. And
I got a 22.
perfect. So he looks at you, and you've basically, if you've ever been somewhere and someone's talking to you and you like haven't heard this before, and your mind is absolutely just fucking blown, so you're kind of speechless, but you're just amazed at what you've just said. That's the look he has on his face, and he says, I think you're right. I'm tired of watching my men die. Honestly, I'm tired of all the bloodshed. If peace for now and more diplomacy is what you think should work, you don't seem like you're from here. You seem well traveled. I guess I'm going to. I think it's worth a shot.
We can send a regiment of a diplomatic regiment down to the certain people as soon as possible and broker a deal. We should probably get the rest of the islands involved. At that, I'm going to turn around and walk out.
And you do so. And we're gonna jump to who else was investigating. Who's going? Were they all Vilgax, or who was going with who? What was the deal? I don't remember.
I think Vilgax and Grimmelberg were looking for Dak.
Okay. Vilgax and Grim, you guys walk through, and you guys still see all these people at the tables playing cards, etc., etc. What are you doing? Are you just walking through? Are you going to search? Are you asking people? Give me something of what you guys are actually trying to do.
Well, Grimm's not really trying to do anything, and I'm wondering if Vilgax is asleep.
Johnny awake?
Yep, we're good.
All right. So you guys are
Just
investigating.
waiting for my turn.
Yep, you and Grim are looking for Dak, but specifically, what are you trying to do? There's people sitting everywhere at the tables. Are you going to ask people? Are you just going to like search through the corridors? Or you, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, we can probably go up to somebody and ask where Dak's quarters are, or just the general quarters overall.
Sure.
If there's one of those.
You walk up to a bunch of guys sitting at a table, and everybody recognizes you, Grim, and they say hello, and you ask them, "Hey, do you know where Grim's quarters are? Or sorry, you know where Dak's quarters are? He's said he was going to take a nap, and I expected him to be at dinner, and etc." And they explain to you, "Yeah, he's up in the front, that front corner. There's a small little room off to the side. If he's there, that's where. If he's sleeping, that's where he should be."
All right, and what hours does he keep?
I mean, he just kind of comes and goes. I wouldn't say he's really part of the camp. He showed up a couple months ago, and he's been a great help as far as knowledge, but I wouldn't
I'm just
say
saying
that
I don't
he's-
want to show up in like the middle of the fucking night, you know.
Right, so right now you're thinking about, after you guys went and searched, you're looking about 8 o'clock or so. He's like, I would imagine he's still sleeping at this point. If he didn't come to dinner, I mean, go check. I mean, go knock on his door, see what's up.
Well, I say let's go pay him a visit.
Okay.
All right.
As you guys walk through the corridors, pretty much empty out here. A few little soldiers running around, not doing a whole lot. Go down a hallway, and you look up front, and there's a small little room up front with the door. Kind of looks no bigger than an 8x8 room, kind of just off by itself in the corner. It does say on the outside of the door, Dak.
Well, seems your friend has done pretty well in a few months. None point to the name on the door.
If you say so. I don't know if this little room would be considered good for a general.
So I'm gonna knock on the door.
As you knock on the door, you actually start to hear like a little rustling, like whatnot, and a voice says, which sounds kind of tired. Yes.
We missed you at dinner, old man.
Oh shit! What time is it?
It's a good question.
Yeah, that time.
So he opens up the door, and Dak is standing in front of you, rubbing his eyes. Looks very tired. Shit, is there any food left? I can get someone to whip me up something, I'm sure. Thanks for waking me up. I appreciate it. I probably would have slept all night with no fucking food. That would have been a bear in the morning.
I so badly wanted to stab Dak when he was rubbing his eyes, just right in front of Grim. I'm not gonna, but my brain told me to do it.
I'm sure you did. Just stabbing the old man.
So, Dak, have you ever heard of Romax or Mergaxor at all?
Sits and thinks for a second, and no. No.
Well, Mergaxor is not so much a problem anymore, as I showed his head to you and the other generals the other day. Or, I mean, yesterday. Or was that today? I don't even know at this point. But anyway, when we showed the generals, like, he should know Mergaxor and then Romex, like, from what we told him alone. Does he not know beyond that?
Really beyond what you guys were saying before, what he was listening to, but as far as, like, if you're asking him if he, like, has ever met him, seen him before, no. He knows just what you guys told him.
Well, between us, now that the big man's out of the room, has there been any weird stuff happening around here? There's a lot of little off happenings before things really came to a head at the other school.
I mean, yeah. We've had a recent, in the last 2 months that 3 months, whatever it's been since I've been here, we've stopped fighting the Triton. They stopped coming around. Which, when I first got here, we were still, they were always trying to sneak in here and steal stuff and take things and take supplies, but that's now stopped the last 2 months. And now there is a mysterious yellow fog that keeps happening randomly at night. But as far as it doing anything to us, I haven't seen any of it. But the fog is definitely weird.
So they stop stealing things, or you stop seeing them entirely?
Well, they have stopped coming here entirely. So, I never thought I'd see the day that they would stop, since, I mean, technically, we did throw them off these islands.
Strange indeed. Makes the mind wander. Wherein, what would make something like that just happen to just cease doing what they're doing?
It's a very good question. Very good question. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe you guys could figure that out. I'm sure Vincent would love that.
Does it pay?
I'm sure he'd pay you guys. I mean, Grim, this is your home now, so
Well, I mean, still, I imagine if this is my school and I work here, then I should get like a stipend. Or is it just room and board is included?
I'm sure they could work something out, buddy.
And then I was like, turn to Grim and go, oh, are you planning to stay?
Well, I'm uncertain. I mean, it does seem like a lot of things are pointing me in this direction, but it seems like we also have something pretty important to deal with my whole hand being, necromantic, and there being a necromancer out there that can fuck with my head a bit. I feel like I need to deal with that before I can just fit in at a military academy.
Well, I suppose we've kept you long enough. But yeah, dinner's on. And then
I
I'm gonna grab Grim and head out.
Cool. So you do that.
So, and then as we're walking away, like once we're out of earshot, is the idea.
Mhm.
So Grim, was this famous general you talked about always so worn out?
Well, years and decades of war will do that to you.
No, I'm
Grim
talking
would.
from the last few months when you saw him last.
He does seem quite a bit more worn down and tired than the last time I saw him. But, I mean, if he did nearly die, recovering from that at an old age could explain it.
So could being under the influence of something else.
Oh,
Potentially, but I haven't seen any evidence that he's actually doing anything against the camp here or us.
If it comes down to it, could you kill him?
I don't ever foresee a reason why I'd need to.
Well, see, we haven't known each other all along either. And we just need to know whose side you're on, if push comes to shove.
Grim just kind of looks at him like, we've already been through quite a lot and we saved each other's lives a few times, but that doesn't compare to how many times Dak and I have been on a battlefield together.
Well, good to know where we stand. And then we'll continue off to regroup with the rest of the people. I'm assuming we were smart enough to like set like a rally point for when we're done doing our things.
I would imagine. Well, yeah, I would imagine you guys did. I'll give that one to you. So with that, Yotur, you
Rally
and
point
Cat
would
kind of
just be the bedroom that we're staying in, isn't it?
yeah,
Probably.
which we can go ahead and call this room over here your guys' room. It has enough beds for everybody in it, enough cots, if you will. Yotur, you were just honestly hanging out with Ket still. I don't, unless you guys were actually doing
Yeah.
something.
I think someone told us to go look for someone, but as soon as they both left, Yoda went to get seconds and then just had a conversation with Kat about the people she's looking for.
Perfect. And she does tell you that the party is a great party. She tells you all about Illyria and Svartal and the angel that is Cash and the devil that is Steve, and how they went missing with. She vaguely remembers like this man in yellow with that weird. She actually draws that symbol that you guys saw
Mm.
out in the forest for you. Like she remembers seeing that. when they went missing, and she worries that they're if they can't be found, that these horrors that everybody keeps talking about, and that the visionary that she went to see was talking about, could take over, essentially.
I asked, wait, so she saw that symbol
She
when her
did.
party disappeared.
She
Where
did.
did she see it? What was the context?
Well, after when she woke up, it was plastered all over her tavern before it all burned down.
Mm,
So it's in the shape of an M on her forehead.
Yes.
okay. And she has reason to believe that they're somewhere in this area, or this is where she is right now.
She doesn't honestly know, but she has reason to believe that hopefully they're out here somewhere, and she's been looking for them.
Okay. But she hasn't heard from them any word of them since her tavern burned down.
Correct.
Okay. I guess Yotur would probably tell her that he was also looking for his research partner who disappeared at some point. But as far as Yotur knows, what he wasn't looking for this symbol or nothing related to this symbol. So I don't know if they're related or not.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else you want to speak to her about at all?
No, that's probably it.
Okay.
Probably make small talk.
As you guys rally, getting later into the evening, you guys rally up at your. All right. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. You guys rally up into your room, and what would you guys do from here?
All right, so now that we're all back together, we go, well, do we find out anything useful?
Not really. Kind of boring conversation, really.
Yeah, not really.
Well, we heard that Vincent might have like information on that whole whatever the fuck was happening nearby that's out of the ordinary.
It
That's what
really
Jackson
wasn't
wanted.
much information, to be honest. She was just like, there's some mists and nothing's happening here, so we're fine.
Okay. So the mists aren't like a mission. So we have no direction for where we're going in the morning.
Does anybody else find that quite interesting? That out of this entire encampment devoted solely to war, nobody knows what's going on.
That's
Oh, military intelligence is an oxymoron.
Screw it. We're gonna do it. All right.
Screw it, we're gonna do it.
Yep. Go ahead. Continue.
Uh-oh. What happened with my sheet?
Uh-oh.
You guys can go ahead. I got it. Something's fucked up. Because I was just looking through my sheet and my lucky feet's just gone after we changed my arm blades.
What? That's weird.
Yeah. What the fuck?
God dang it. Why does it keep doing this?
Ability score.
Oh. That's too easy for you guys. Okay.
Equipment.
All right, so you guys are discussing kind of what you hear. To reiterate, there's been a mist that's been happening, but it doesn't seem like anybody's gone missing. There's always some weird shit that comes out of the wild magic forest, but what doesn't, right? And the Islands of the Fallen, you now know they really do exist. They're on your map. They're at war. They were at war with this place, but they seem to have fallen off. Ram, you have now asked General Vincent to be more diplomatic. Seem to have persuaded him to do so in the meantime. And Dak seems very old, a little frail, tired. But yeah.
So, as far as direction for tomorrow goes, I guess we could focus on figuring out the mist situation, or seeing if and bringing Dak along with and seeing if he's actually controlled or manipulated by Romax. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Grim has a lot of training to do, so he should probably stay back while we go defend the world from devastation.
When you put it that way.
Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Grim's pretty much set on the idea of gotta kill a necromancer because that bitch is trying to control me.
What necromancer?
Romex?
Oh, he's a necromancer. That would have been good
Well,
to
at
know.
least I thought he was. I thought he was the same guy who fucked us up back when we were, me and Dak fighting for Valistar.
Oh.
So you put that all together, and yet we just talked to Dak, and he has no recollection or anything that wants to point to Romex. Again, interesting. This is almost as if he wants to put us off of Romex.
Well, I'm the only one who assumes that that guy with the necromantic powers is Romex because his powers that he used on Vergaxer were so similar.
Mhm.
Give Vergaxer those powers, like his powers were very similar to mine. So Grimmelberg is putting it together that it's probably that fucking guy.
And which guy again? Sorry, Romex.
Romex. The one you were kind of pretending to be, who has the teleportation shit too.
I was never pretending to be anybody.
I remember Welcome to Later.
Eh,
That was a joke. We all saw it, didn't we? And that's when I rip off my rope. No, I'm kidding.
and it's all been a lie. Just kidding.
It's all been a lie. I'm just
He's
really
actually
good at
just
deception.
some guy.
He's just a
I'm-
jag.
I'm
Well-
actually 3 dwarves in a coat.
Ooh.
Did we find out if there was any particular area this yellowy mist appeared or was coming from?
From the other islands. Specifically, not this one.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not eager to get back on another boat anytime soon.
Big same.
Yeah.
Because you already know Grimmelberg already had, seasickness, and then there was a storm that crashed us into a fucking hellhole. Yeah. Grim's
It'd
not big on boats.
be different if I had. Never mind.
So, at that point, you guys are talking. It is now late into the evening. Are you guys sleeping here? What are you guys doing?
We should probably rest here for the night, and then in the morning, let's make our way.
Yep. Just see if that shield is done. The long rest. See if the shield's done. Breakfast. GTFO.
All right. So you do that. Everybody can take a long rest. I don't know if you guys have used anything in the meantime.
I was
You guys
hurt a
can do
little
that.
bit.
I
You guys
have.
can do that and wake up. And to skip through everything, we are going to get you guys breakfast. And you guys head to the blacksmith and knock on the front door. And Sham answers and says, "Good morning.
Where were you last night around 8 o'clock in the evening?
In bed with my wife."
Way to go, Sham.
I'm
Did you
gonna
give her
look
the
at
wow?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go look at Vilgax and go, that would have been funny, huh?
Oh, sorry. I don't know what that was.
That's a cool thing.
That's a wrong button. That's something for a different thing.
Items.
Oh, sure. Now it's all fucked. Damn it. All right. So he gives you the shield. Wait, you were at 20 before, right? With the regular shield?
Yep.
Okay. And I think it got all fucked up. When I add this, I'm going to have to fix it. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm gonna manually fix your AC, and then I'll fix the magic item later.
Okay.
So you should have an extra one. So you should be at like 21 when I do this.
Okay.
But I don't think it's gonna work that way because it's shit. Nope.
It's
not.
shit, not the shiznit.
Damn it. All right. So you got rid of this. I'm gonna add that. There you go. If you refresh, it might take a minute or so, but you now have the Mage Hunter Shield of Reflecting.
Woo!
Nice.
Game-wise, you are allowed to essentially block up to 3 spells per 24 hours. The shield will hold that spell for 6 hours. And you're able to eject that spell through the shield back at the user, or hold it for a later day or later hour or whatever.
I
3
could have
times.
one of them shoot a spell at me and then
Yeah.
have the spell.
You don't have the spell. It's in your shield, and you basically blast it back at whomever. It can hold up to 3 times or 3 of them. It after 6 hours, it will go away, and you won't use it
Okay.
anymore.
All
So
right.
no long-term storage of like
Nope.
an enemy's fireball for a
Nope.
later date.
Nope. But
When you
should
say
be-
block a spell, is that totally negate damage?
yes. For now. But what it looks like to you, you have no idea what this is. So that's game-wise, that was above board. What you got back was a shield in like the kind of this cool shape of what the chitin was in. It's like a purplish silver looking shield. It has some the handles on the back look like they clasp, if you will, and they kind of glow silver as well. So it's not, you're not holding it anymore. Like you slip it over your hand, and it tightens to your arm, so it's always there. But and so you have a little handle on the side that you're holding it, but it does clasp to your arms. The blacksmith basically just hands it to you and says, "I hope this works." Like he has no idea like what it is, what he did, what he made. So you honestly at this point you really have no idea what this does, but you feel like it's a nice hardy shield.
Is it like a buckler style shield or like a great shield or what?
So it looks like
Like a heater shield. You know, look at like a shield.
Look like a shield.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a great shield. He was able to like mash like and just kind of stretch out the chitin a little bit. Let me see if I can get a picture. copy. So it kind of looks something like this, but like more purple and silvery. As he was able to stretch it out. It's in the Facebook chat because I wasn't able to do it in the regular chat. But it looks similar to that, and you can see the clasps on the back. So those things clasp to your arms, so you're not like flailing it around. But in order to use it, you're also holding onto it, so you still have one hand incapacitated by the shield. But for you, it looks like a nice hardy shield. When you grab it and you put the clasps on, you feel a little tingling in your arm, a little bit. But as of right now, it just looks like an awesome hardy shield.
Hardy shield. Great job, Sham.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
To be completely honest with you, I have no fucking idea what this shit was. It was kind of hard to maneuver and make, but hey, if it works, it works.
That'll do, Sham. That'll do.
All right, so then you guys do that, get your breakfast. You step out to the front. Everyone just kind of to seem again the higher ranking officers aren't on the floor or anything. The soldiers are kind of just outside training, doing some shit. Everything seems to be in order, I guess. And you guys step out to the front of the door, and you kind of didn't notice this before, but now as you're standing out front, you notice there's a few different pathways off from this specific barracks. There's one that looks like it goes down to the left, which looks like it might go down to the water, which you guys can explain. It looks like there's another pathway back into the jungle, off towards that distance. It looks like those two pathways are the most worn, but the day is yours